Imagine this, you've just had your annual checkup. You feel pretty good overall, no major complaints. You open the lab report envelope, and there it is. Your blood sugar is creeping up. Your cholesterol numbers aren't where they should be. Maybe your liver enzymes are a little off. It's easy to shrug it off. I feel fine, you think. It can't be that bad. But here's the quiet truth, these numbers are like gentle alarms from your body. They're signaling issues that can grow into much bigger problems if we keep ignoring them. And right now, in 2025, millions of people are getting these same wake-up calls every single day. Welcome to the GLP-1 revolution, beyond weight loss and into real health. I'm going to walk you through something that's quietly changing lives, not just for people trying to lose weight, but for anyone who wants better energy, better blood sugar control, a healthier heart, protected kidneys, even a clearer mind as they age. You've probably heard the headlines about Ozempic, Wegovy, Mounjaro, Zepbound, these GLP-1 medications. Most people think they're just fancy weight loss drugs. But that's only part of the story. The real revolution is how they're helping the body heal from the inside out, addressing root problems that show up on routine lab work: high blood sugar, high cholesterol, high blood pressure, fatty liver, inflammation, metabolic syndrome. In the next hour or so, together we're going to cover everything in plain, everyday language, no medical degree needed. You'll understand what those common lab numbers actually mean, why they go out of range, because of age, habits, stress, sleep, family history, the warning signs in your daily life you should never brush off, and most importantly, the practical steps you can take right now to protect yourself, improve your numbers, and feel better, whether you ever use medication or not. This is not about fear. This is about feeling in control. Think of me as the family member who did all the reading, talked to the experts, and just wants to sit down with you and explain it simply so you can live better, longer, with more energy. If you've ever looked at a lab report and felt confused, or worried, or just curious about what all this GLP-1 talk really means for regular people, stay with me. You're exactly where you need to be. Let's start at the beginning. What is GLP-1? GLP-1 is a tiny hormone your gut naturally releases every time you eat. Think of it as a smart messenger. It has several very helpful jobs. It tells your pancreas, hey, release some insulin to keep blood sugar steady. It slows down how fast food leaves your stomach, so you feel full longer and don't get those wild hunger spikes. It talks to your brain and says, you've had enough. Stop eating. It even helps reduce inflammation throughout the body and protects organs like the heart, kidneys, and liver. In a healthy system, this hormone works beautifully. But for millions of people, especially as we get older, carry extra weight around the middle, deal with chronic stress, or eat a modern diet full of processed food and sugar, this natural GLP-1 system gets weaker or overwhelmed. Blood sugar stays higher than it should. Insulin stops working as well, that's insulin resistance. Inflammation quietly builds. Fat starts collecting in the liver. Blood pressure creeps up. Cholesterol patterns get unhealthy. That's when those lab reports start showing red flags. Now enter the medications we call GLP-1 receptor agonists, drugs like Semaglutide, Ozempic, Wegovy, liraglutide, Victoza, Saxenda, and the dual-action Tirzepatide, Mounjaro, Zepbound. These drugs are synthetic versions that act like supercharged natural GLP-1. They bind to the same receptors and turn all those helpful signals way up. Originally created for type 2 diabetes, they quickly showed they could do so much more. People lost significant weight, yes, but researchers started noticing something bigger: heart attack risk dropped dramatically. Kidney function improved or stabilized. Fatty liver disease started reversing in many cases. Blood pressure came down. Inflammation markers fell. Some early studies are even looking at benefits for brain health, sleep apnea, FAQs, and certain inflammatory conditions. This is why people are calling it a revolution. It's not just about a smaller gene size. It's about protecting the most important organs and systems in your body from the inside out. Now let's talk about the real-life signs that something might be off metabolically, signs that often show up long before the serious complications. Mild, early warning signs you might brush off as normal aging, or just stress, feeling unusually tired or foggy-headed after meals, especially carb-heavy ones, gradual weight gain around the belly even though your habits haven't changed much, getting thirsty more often or having a dry mouth, mild headaches that seem to come out of nowhere, craving sweets or carbs in the afternoon, slump, moderate signs that start affecting your day-to-day life, needing to get up to pee several times at night. Constant hunger even after you've eaten, cuts or bruises that take forever to heal, tingling or numbness in hands and feet, shortness of breath when you climb stairs or walk uphill, serious warning signs that mean you should see a doctor soon, chest discomfort or fluttering heartbeats, blurry vision that comes and goes, swelling in your legs, ankles, or feet, extreme, unexplained fatigue, very high thirst combined with lots of urination and weight loss. If any of these feel familiar, don't panic. These are extremely common. The beautiful thing is that catching them early, whether through paying attention to your body or through routine labs, gives you the most options to turn things around. What puts someone at higher risk for these metabolic problems? Age. After 40, our insulin sensitivity naturally starts to decline a little. Family history. If diabetes, heart disease, or high blood pressure run in your family, carrying extra weight, especially around the middle. A diet high in processed foods, sugary drinks, refined carbs, not moving enough, too much sitting, chronic stress from work, family, finances, poor sleep, less than 6 to 7 hours most nights, smoking or heavy alcohol use, already having conditions like PCOS, sleep apnea, or high blood pressure. These aren't moral judgments. These are just the most common patterns we see in everyday life. A stressful job leads to late-night snacking. Busy schedules mean more takeout. Kids, aging parents, long commutes, all of it adds up over months and years. The good news is that because so many of these factors are things we can influence, we have real power here. Before we move into what you can actually do, let's pause for just a second. Take a breath. Look at your own life for a moment. How's your energy after meals? How's your sleep been lately? Do you notice any of those mild signs creeping in? Have you had labs done in the last year? If you have, did anything surprise you? If anything is resonating, drop it in the comments below. You're not alone. Your story might be exactly what helps someone else watching right now feel less scared and more hopeful. And if you're finding this helpful so far, give the video a quick thumbs up. It really helps spread clear, honest health information to more people who need it. In just a minute we're going to talk about how doctors actually check these things and what they look for. Then we'll get very practical, what foods, movement, sleep, and stress habits make the biggest difference, with or without medication. Stick with me. The best part is coming. If those signs or risk factors sound familiar, here's how health professionals usually investigate and confirm what's going on. It almost always starts with a conversation. Your doctor will ask about your eating patterns, how much you move, stress levels, sleep, family history, any medications or supplements you're taking. Then the most common tests, a fasting blood glucose test or an A1C, which shows your average blood sugar over the last 2 to 3 months, a full lipid panel, total cholesterol, LDL, bad, HDL, good, triglycerides, liver function tests, especially ALT and AST to check for fatty liver, kidney function, creatinine and eGFR, blood pressure measured several times. Sometimes with a home monitor too. If anything looks concerning, they might add an oral glucose tolerance test. You drink a sugary drink and get checked at intervals, an ultrasound of the liver if fatty liver is suspected, sometimes a referral to a specialist like an endocrinologist or cardiologist. The beautiful thing about this process is that it's usually straightforward. You don't need fancy scans or invasive procedures to get answers. Early detection means early action, and early action changes outcomes dramatically. Now, if these metabolic issues go unchecked for years, what can happen? The risks are real, but they're also very slow and very preventable. Uncontrolled high blood sugar and insulin resistance can strain the heart, leading to higher chances of heart disease. High blood pressure and unhealthy cholesterol patterns add to that heart risk and increase stroke risk. Fatty liver can progress to inflammation and scarring if it continues for a long time. Kidneys can slowly lose filtering ability. Nerves can become irritated, causing pain or numbness. Eyes can develop changes that affect vision. None of this happens overnight. It usually takes years of the body being under stress. That's why routine checkups, paying attention to symptoms, and making consistent small changes are so powerful. You interrupt the cycle early. And here's the hopeful part: lifestyle changes alone can reverse or dramatically improve many of these markers for a huge number of people. For others, adding a medication like a GLP-1 agonist when appropriate gives even more protection, especially for heart, kidneys, and liver. This is general education. It's not a substitute for seeing your own doctor. Always talk to a qualified healthcare professional about your personal labs, symptoms, and treatment options. Before we get into the exact how-to changes you can start this week, let's do a quick check-in. Think about your own habits for a second. How many hours of sleep are you really getting? What's your go-to stress reliever? Is it scrolling, snacking, or something kinder? When was the last time you had a blood pressure check or labs done? Have you ever made a change, maybe cut back soda, started walking, fixed your sleep, and noticed your energy or mood improve? If you have a win, big or small, share it in the comments. Sometimes hearing one real person's success story is the nudge someone else needs. And if you're enjoying this deep dive and want more practical health content like this, hit subscribe and turn on notifications. That way you won't miss the next one. Okay, let's keep going. In the next section we're going to get extremely practical. I'm going to walk you through a realistic lifestyle plan that supports healthier blood sugar, better cholesterol, lower inflammation, and overall metabolic health, whether you're using GLP-1 medication or not. Then we'll answer the most common questions and bust the biggest myths people have about these medications and about lab numbers in general. Here we go. Let's talk about what you can actually do in your daily life. First, food. The single biggest lever for most people is shifting toward more whole, minimally processed foods. Build your plate around non-starchy vegetables, broccoli, spinach, peppers, zucchini, salad greens, fiber-rich carbs in moderation, oats, quinoa, sweet potatoes, beans, lentils, lean proteins, chicken, turkey, fish, eggs, tofu, Greek yogurt, healthy fats, avocado, olive oil, nuts, seeds, fatty fish like salmon. What to dial way back: added sugars, sodas, sweetened coffee drinks, desserts, candy, refined carbs, white bread, pastries, chips, most cereals, highly processed foods, anything with a long ingredient list you can't pronounce, excessive salty snacks and fried foods. Realistic example day: breakfast, Greek yogurt with berries and a sprinkle of nuts. Lunch, grilled chicken salad with lots of veggies, olive oil dressing. Snack, apple with almond butter. Dinner, baked salmon, roasted broccoli, small sweet potato. You don't have to be perfect. Aim for progress, not perfection. Even swapping one sugary drink for water or one processed snack for veggies makes a measurable difference in blood sugar and energy. Movement. You don't need a gym membership or to run marathons. The goal is consistency. Walking is the gold standard, 30 minutes most days. Walking after meals is especially powerful for blood sugar control. Add in some light strength training 2 to 3 times a week, bodyweight squats, push-ups against a wall, resistance bands, or light dumbbells. Muscle helps your body use insulin better. And don't underestimate daily movement, taking stairs, parking farther, gardening, playing with kids. It all counts. Sleep. This is huge and often overlooked. Aim for 7 to 9 hours. Simple routines that help: same bedtime and wake time every day, dim lights and no screens 60 to 90 minutes before bed, cool, dark, quiet bedroom. If you wake up in the night, don't check your phone, just breathe slowly. Better sleep improves insulin sensitivity overnight. Stress. Chronic stress raises cortisol, which raises blood sugar and promotes belly fat storage. Quick daily tools: 4-7-8 breathing, inhale 4, hold 7, exhale 8, 5-minute walk outside. Journaling worries before bed. Talking to a friend. Saying no to extra commitments when you're overloaded. Routine checkups. Once a year at minimum if you're at average risk. More often if you have family history or previous abnormal labs. Track your own trends. Many pharmacies have free blood pressure machines. Some people use home glucose monitors or apps to log labs over time. Seeing progress keeps you motivated. Do's in everyday life: eat protein and fiber at every meal. Move your body every day, even if just a walk. Prioritize sleep. Drink mostly water. Manage stress with simple tools. Don'ts: skip breakfast, it can make afternoon cravings worse. Rely on willpower alone. Set up your environment for success. Ignore symptoms or abnormal labs. Start supplements without talking to your doctor about medication. Lifestyle is the foundation. For some people, it's enough. For others, especially with type 2 diabetes, high cardiovascular risk, significant obesity, or fatty liver, adding a GLP-1 medication under medical supervision can be life-changing. These are prescription only and should only be started and monitored by a healthcare professional. Now let's answer some of the most common questions people ask. Question: if I feel fine, can I ignore slightly abnormal numbers? No. Feeling fine doesn't mean everything is fine inside. Many serious conditions are silent until they're advanced. Early action is the best protection. Question: can diet and exercise alone fix everything? For many people, yes, especially if caught early. For others, lifestyle gets you most of the way, but medication gives that extra push for heart, kidney, and liver protection. Question: are GLP-1 drugs dangerous? Will they ruin my metabolism forever? When prescribed and monitored properly, the benefits far outweigh risks for most people who need them. The most common side effects are nausea, which usually improves. Long-term data continues to look very favorable for heart, kidney, and overall mortality benefits. Myth: these drugs are just a quick fix and the weight comes right back. Fact: when people combine the medication with sustainable lifestyle changes, weight loss is much more likely to stay off. Stopping the drug without keeping the habits usually leads to regain, but that's true of any weight loss method. Myth: you have to stay on GLP-1 drugs for life or you gain everything back immediately. Fact: not necessarily. Many people use them as a bridge to build better habits, improve insulin sensitivity, and then taper off successfully, especially if they maintain the lifestyle changes. Myth: these drugs make you lose muscle. Fact: any rapid weight loss can include some muscle, but combining the medication with protein and strength training preserves muscle very well. The key message: these tools, lifestyle first, medication when appropriate, are about giving your body the support it needs to heal and thrive. Let's bring it all together. We started by understanding that those lab numbers aren't random, they're signals. We talked about GLP-1, the natural hormone, and how medications supercharge its effects to help with blood sugar, weight, heart health, kidneys, liver, inflammation, and more. We covered the early, moderate, and serious signs to watch for in daily life. We looked at the everyday causes and risk factors we can actually influence. We saw how doctors diagnose and monitor these issues, mostly through simple blood tests and conversations. We discussed what can happen if problems go unchecked for many years, and how preventable most of it really is. And we laid out a practical, doable lifestyle foundation: better food choices, consistent movement, good sleep, stress tools, and regular checkups. Here's your simple action plan you can start this very week. Book or schedule your next checkup if it's been a while. Look back at your last labs if you have them. What trends do you see? Add 1 extra serving of vegetables to your day. Commit to one 20 to 30-minute walk every day this week. Move your bedtime 30 minutes earlier starting tonight. Pick one habit to reduce, maybe one less sugary drink, one less late-night snack. That's it. Small, kind, consistent changes. You don't have to fix everything at once. You just have to start. And you are already starting, because you stayed here with me for this whole conversation. That matters. You have more power over your future health than you might have realized. The GLP-1 revolution is exciting because it gives us new tools, but the real power is still in your daily choices. You can do this. One step at a time. With kindness toward yourself. Thank you for spending this time with me. If this helped you, give it a like, share it with someone you care about, and subscribe so we can keep learning together. You can check out our other videos on understanding cholesterol numbers and simple daily habits to protect your heart. They'll fit perfectly with what we talked about today. Until next time, take good care of yourself. You deserve to feel good, have energy, and live long. I'll see you in the next one.